everyone, Jason here, digital marketing consultant, and in this lead generation idea guide, you're going to get 7 different lead generation ideas to grow your email list and book sales calls. But before we dive into that, there are 3 essential elements to making sure that your lead generation process is lean, mean, and of course, isn't overcomplicated. So timestamp table of contents in the description, along with some other helpful videos I'll be referencing to put together your lead generation funnel. Now, before we dive into those 7 ideas, there are only 3 things you need in order to be successful generating leads. You need a traffic source, you need something called a squeeze page, and then we have something called a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is what is going to power this entire process. Without a great lead magnet, none of the other 2 matter. So we'll actually get to 7 different types of lead magnets you can put together because that's what's ultimately going to make this work. Now, when it comes to your traffic, you can either have organic traffic or you can have paid traffic. Paid traffic, of course, is when you're running paid advertising on Google ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, Instagram ads, whatever you're paying for, that's paid traffic. Now, when it comes to organic traffic, that's where your blog posts, you're doing a podcast, or maybe you're doing a YouTube video, and irrespective of where your traffic is coming from, this process is going to work for you. They're all going to be driven to something called a squeeze page, which is step 2 in the lead generation process. Now, the squeeze page is where you offer the lead magnet that makes this whole process work. Now, all a squeeze page is a simple page on your website that has no links anywhere else, and all someone can do is enter their name and email. We'll get to other contact information in a second so that they can get whatever you're offering. And a quick note as we dive into the elements of a squeeze page, you may have heard of something called a landing page. And a landing page and a squeeze page are designed to do the same thing. The only difference is a squeeze page is going to have less information on it. So if you're just getting started with this whole lead generation thing, then just stick with the squeeze page because your headline and subheadline are going to do most of the work, whereas on a landing page, as you'll see with some future examples, it just has more information. Now, on your squeeze page, you have a couple of options in the type of contact information you can collect. And as a general rule of thumb, the more you ask for, the less likely someone is to enter their contact information. So while you could ask for all this information up front, typically what you're going to want to do is at the very minimum, just ask for their email. And if you want their name because you want to customize emails with their name at the top, you can do that as well. But name and email is really all you need to grow your list, or if you're trying to book sales calls, is all you need to get them started in your funnel process. Now, you might be wondering, okay, what the heck do we actually write for the headline or the subheadline? So I have 2 examples, and then we'll dive into those 7 ideas for your lead magnet, because that's going to be arguably the most important part. So when it comes to your headline, you can just use this very simple formula: how to get something without achieving a specific result or doing the hard part. So in this particular example, we have how to grow your channel without getting lots of views, and then our subheadline, get instant access to the complete YouTube growth blueprint so you can make 2019 your breakout year. The YouTube growth blueprint is referring to what the lead magnet is, and then there's a simple contact form where they enter their name and email so they can get started now. Now, the next example we have here is from another marketer named Sam Ovens at consulting.com, and you can see he's using the exact same formula: how to start your own business without prior knowledge or experience, something hard or difficult that most people who want to start a business think they have to do. And you can literally use this headline template for whatever business or industry that you're in. And then you can see his subheadline talks a little bit more about specifically what they're going to get as a result of entering their email. And those are the only 3 things you need in order to start generating leads. So now let's go through those 7 lead magnet ideas. Now, when it comes to creating your lead magnets, all a lead magnet is something that you're going to offer of value in exchange for that contact information. Because if someone is seeing an ad or watching or reading one of your blog posts or YouTube videos, and then they go to your squeeze page and you say, hey, give me your name and email, and then you don't say why they should give you their name and email, well, then the whole process doesn't really work. So you want to make sure that value is equal in terms of they're giving you valuable information, their contact, and you're giving them valuable information, how to do something, or information they don't already know. So when it comes to putting together your lead magnets, there are 3 keys to success. The first key is, of course, making sure that the lead magnet is actually valuable, because you're going to be very, very hard pressed to try and sell anything or send people off to an affiliate offer or get people on the phone if you give them something that is clearly an afterthought and not actually helpful. The second key is making sure that whatever you do give them is polished. So if you put together a PDF guide or you put together a video presentation, make sure that it actually does look professional. It doesn't mean you have to go spend thousands of dollars putting together the best looking PDF in the world or have this great video production, but it does need to be professional and polished and clearly show that you put some time and effort into it. And the third key to success is making sure that whatever your lead magnet is, the results are very fast. So you don't want to be doing a video training or offering some sort of case study or PDF where it's going to take them 3 to 6 months in order to see the results, because part of the power of a lead magnet is that you're demonstrating that you can help them. Because if they can see through your free offer that you were helpful and valuable, well then they're going to be much more likely to purchase your product or service. So now let's go through those 7 different lead generation ideas, your lead magnets, what's going to power this entire process. So first up, we have 4 that are based on PDFs, and this is where I recommend you start. The very first one is an audit, and simply what an audit does is it's a checklist that someone can go through to see what's working and what's not. So as an example here, we have the analytics checklist audit from our agency, and we give this to potential agency clients for free so that they can go through their analytics accounts and see all of the stuff they're doing wrong. I know that can kind of sound mean, like you're trying to point out everything they're doing wrong, but you want to show that you can be valuable and there are things that they're missing in whatever they're trying to accomplish right now. So for example, in the health niche, you could do some sort of checklist or audit of someone's workout schedule, sleeping routine, or maybe nutrition plan so that they can see the holes in what they're doing. And the whole purpose of this is to show them what they're doing wrong and then how to fix it. Now, the next one we have here is a case study, and case studies are great if you're in the services business. So if you're trying to get someone on a sales call or your product is actually a service, then case studies are great because it gives you an opportunity to show your potential customers that you can achieve the results they're looking for. And what makes this really powerful is if you're targeting a specific type of niche or industry with your customer, you want your case study to be as close to that person as possible. And the reason you want that is because you don't want someone reading through the case study, in the back of their mind, they go, yeah, well, that worked for them, but my situation is, fill in the blank, and then they just kind of disqualify all the great results that you just showed them. And this can just be a 3 to 5 page PDF that walks them through exactly what you did, the client situation, and then the awesome results the client was able to achieve. And at the end of the PDF, you just put a button where they can click to book a strategy call with you or go on to the next step in your funnel. Now, the next one we have is a resource list. This is going to work whether you're doing a digital product or if you're doing a service. And this is essentially where you compile a bunch of resources and say, hey, you know what? I know there's all these different software resources out there. Or I know there's all these different sites you could be learning from, but here are the best of the best. This could be a top list or best resources. Essentially, what you want to do is shortchange the process that someone else would have to go through to figure out what the best place to go to achieve a specific result is. And it's pretty much just your recommended resources list. This is great if you're doing affiliate marketing, by the way. Now, the last one we have in the PDF format is the report. And this is great when you are compiling a bunch of research and data. So with the resource list, you're just pretty much listing out a bunch of things that they should go check out that you recommend. Whereas here, you're taking research and data, a bunch of information, compiling it down into a nice, easy to read report, and then delivering it to them on a silver platter so it's very easy for them to make their decisions. The easiest example I have for this is from The Motley Fool, where they consistently publish a list of the top 5 to 10 stocks, depending upon what people want. So they'll have a top 5 list of dividend stocks, growth stocks, speculative stocks, penny stocks, and so the whole purpose of this is instead of asking people to say, hey, you know what, here's 50 potential things and go research all these different stocks and companies, they say, you know what, we did all that research for you, just enter your email and we'll give you the top 5. So this is something you can do for your ideal customers and prospects. Now, this next one is based on video, and this is going to be a video presentation where you help them go from point A to point B. So essentially this is a mini masterclass. This is a video training. Now when it comes to video training, you have a couple of options. I recommend not starting here though, because making anything on video is going to be a significantly larger time investment than just putting together one of the 4 types of lead magnets that we just talked about. But here, this could be just a video presentation. This could also be formatted as a webinar. You can cut up the video training if it's very much based upon steps that someone would have to take. Then it could be a 3 or 4 part series. This is very similar to what you may have heard of in the past, like a launch funnel, although I don't recommend following that exact format. But here it would just be 3 or 4 days of emails. Each day you deliver a new little piece of video training. These video trainings wouldn't be more than 10 minutes. You're not making like 4, 5, 60-minute classes. That's ridiculous. And then the last one here, if you're not quite sure, you could actually do a video case study. So the same information you would provide in a PDF case study, the only difference is you would actually have your client or customer on camera. Obviously, this is going to be a lot more involved because you actually have to get your client or customer to agree to do something like that and have their face and business put out. But you'll find that your most grateful clients and customers will actually have no problem doing this. Now, here are a couple of examples of how a video presentation can be put together, and then I'll run through a very cheap resource on how to actually write this, because writing the video presentation 4-part series webinar can be really daunting. So the first example we have here is from a great marketer named Billy Gene, and it's simply a landing page where he offers a free video training. And so actually on this page, this is pretty cool, when you try and click the video, a pop-up will come up asking for their contact information. So this is a great way to showcase, hey, this video training is here, it's real. You try and click the video, and then the pop-up will pop up, enter their name and email, and then they get the video training. This next example we have here is actually from one of our own funnels, and this is what a video training page could look like. You might have a little countdown timer at the top to get people to actually watch it, and then of course your video, and just a button below if you have a product or service, something you can do at the end of the training video. It's important that it's at the end, so after you've delivered real value, then you can offer your product or service. And so this is all a page needs to look like. If you want to learn more about how to do this and what it looks like creating a landing page that goes to a video sales letter and then ultimately goes to a checkout for a digital product or services business, go ahead and check out a link in the description to a video that walks you through click by click how to set up the technical side of this. Now, the next lead generation idea we have is one of my personal favorites, and that is templates. So this is where you do all of the work for your ideal customer, or as much as possible for them. So this is where you're going to create something where they can just go through, fill in the blanks, or it could be a little calculator or a small tool that helps them conduct a self-assessment so they can figure out where to go next. Some other examples we have here are a worksheet, a personal collection or vault of some of your own files. And if you're in the design space, then you can actually provide some pre-done graphic assets. So the whole purpose of this is to do some of the work actually for your ideal customer. So some examples of this, the first one we have is from Digital Marketer, and they just put together this collection or vault of Facebook ads and Facebook ad templates that have worked for them and their clients and other media companies in the past. So instead of someone having to do all the research and figuring out how they should format their Facebook ads or what they should be saying in their Facebook ads, just entering their name and email, and they get to skip all of that work. So the key word is they're skipping work. So as long as you're helping your ideal customer not do work, they're more than likely going to be happy entering their name and email in order to save a bunch of time and energy. Now, the next one we have is from way back when I used to be a financial advisor, and we put together a free stock calculation tool where someone could just enter a ticker symbol, and then it would apply our formulas and analysis to it so that they could quickly see whether or not it would be something that they should or should not invest in. And the final one we have is just going to apply to services-based businesses. Typically, this is going to be higher ticket, and this is essentially where you offer a free strategy or free consulting call. This would be 15 to 30 minutes max, where essentially you help your ideal client by answering some of their questions and then moving the conversation into a sales conversation with how you can help them and what would be the next best steps in working with you. And so that does it for the 7 lead generation ideas and the only 3 elements to your lead generation funnel that you need in order to make all of this successful. So if you'd like to learn more about how to write a landing page or how to put together these lead magnets using Canva, or actually actually just building this entire funnel. Links in the description to videos that will cover all of that and more. So if you got some value out of this video, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe for more in-depth marketing tactics and strategies just like the ones covered in this video. And until the next, keep building the business you love.